Deji calls out Joe Weller and calls him a little bitch for wanting to fight Bazinga, somebody who's never had a boxing match.
Joe Weller has just called out Ethan on Misfits. What's your opinion on that?
He wants to fight someone who hasn't had a fight before. He's a little bitch, in my opinion.
But who is Deji to talk in this situation? Because the only fighters he has beaten is Fuzi, who has bad offense and his defense is trash and who has never beaten anybody. Then he went out to fight Swarms, an overrated fighter, just because he lost weight. People credit him, but then got knocked out in round 1 by Ed Matthews.
Hasn't really thrown much. Oh, big shots come forward. Oh, and he's down! And it's over!
So again, I definitely want to see the Joe Weller versus Deji fight, but I first want to see what Bazinga could do just because he has a big name. And again, we've never seen him box.
Now, I disagree with Deji here and agree with the idea that Joe Weller should fight Ethan instead for many reasons. The first reason being is that you need to forget about the fact that Joe Weller has done boxing in the past, and that's because it was a very long time ago. And yes, he's been training, but it isn't enough to say, you know what, he'll destroy Ethan, get him to fight with Deji right away, because we all know that would be a huge step up for Joe Weller. But this goes for both men. Both Joe Weller and Ethan need to step their game up, and they need to train really hard and bring their A game, because they both don't know what they're capable of. I think it's perfectly set up this way. You know, Joe Weller fights Ethan Bazinga, and he better train hard so he could win that fight, because I can guarantee you that Ethan Bazinga will never do this again. Whether he wins or whether he loses, I don't think this means anything to him boxing-wise, but it does for Joe Weller if he wants to get that fight with Deji, because otherwise he'll look like a clout chaser if he's just calling out one of the best but doesn't work his way up to it. In the end, I do think that Deji is wrong by saying that Joe Weller's a bitch for wanting to fight Ethan Bazinga, because Joe Weller has not fought in a long time and Ethan Bazinga hasn't had a fight. So this fight should stand pretty even if both of them do what they have to do in training and in the build-up to this fight.